'Twas the night before Christmas when all through Nakatomi, all the employees were partying, even Joe Takagi. The champagne was poured and watered down with care in hopes that John McClane soon would be there. The Germans were gathered all snug in their truck beds while visions of bearer bonds danced in their heads. Holly's in her office and John's removed his shoes. They start to argue with nothing to lose. When out in the lobby there arose such a clatter, John grabbed his gun to see what was the matter. Away to the door he flew like a flash, saw Hans Gruber there and the party he did crash. Gun trained on the chest of a mid-coitus secretary, they swept through the office with the precision of military. When what to John's wandering eyes should appear but a miniature gun filling the hostage's eyes with fear. After complimenting Joe's suits, Hans led him to another floor, then counted to 3, but there wasn't a 4. More rapid than eagles, Hans quickly laid blame, then he whistled and shouted and called them all by name. Now Carl, now Tony, now Heinrich and Franco, on Theo, on Eddie, on Christoph and Marco. To the door of the safe, to the top of the wall, set all the detonators, set them all. John makes an emergency call, but they think he's acting dirty, so dispatch puts out the call and reaches car 8 Lincoln 30. Tony tries to kill John, but gets his neck snapped to and fro. Now John has a machine gun. And then in a twinkling, John heard on the walkie Sergeant Al Powell, a beat cop with a build that was stocky. After he killed Marco, John upped his morale, threw the body out the window, yelled, "Welcome to the party, pal!" In walked Ellis. He grinned as he spoke. He dressed in a suit, nose red from the coke. "Hans, Bobby, I'm here to negotiate your fight. You use a gun, I use a pen, I'm your white knight." His eyes, how they twinkled, though he soon would be dead. When he couldn't close the deal, Hans shot him in the head. Hans' droll little mouth was drawn up in a smirk. He left to check the explosive, told Theo to get to work. Deputy Chief Dwayne Robinson was in a panic and needed a mint. Agents Johnson & Johnson were there from the federal government. John Sin Shoes and Hans Incognito finally met face to face. Then Carl shot the glass. John's shredded feet left blood all over the place. He was battered and bruised, but still up for a fight and ready to beat you. He told Carl, "I'll kill you, I'll cook you, then I'll fucking eat you." To make his escape, Hans blew the roof in the chopper. McClane escaped the blast. He's one tough copper. He spoke not a word, only let out a laugh. John confronted him in the safe, Hans and his remaining staff. He raised up his hands, placing them behind his head, then pulled out a gun and shot them both dead. He sprang to the window, Holly's wrist. Hans didn't snarl. He fell to the ground, then Powell shot Carl. But I heard him exclaim as Argyle drove out of sight, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." And to all, a good night.